everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing? Great weekend? You have a great weekend? What a wonderful time in this country, boys. We're doing great. Everything's doing great. Jimmy Kimmel's coming back. That's what they're saying. ABC is going to bring him back tomorrow night. We're going to have Jimmy Kimmel back tomorrow night. And I, for one, am excited. I heard that Gavin Newsom's going to be his first guest on his first show back. So, yeah. His ratings are going to be better than ever, man. They couldn't have done a better job of getting more people interested in watching Jimmy Kimmel than what just played out. Seriously, he's going to come back with so many ratings. The only problem is not all of the, Sinclair, I think, and they own, 20% of the television affiliates for ABC? Sinclair supposedly is not on board, so that's like 20% of the audience that's not going to get the Kimmel show. I haven't heard anything from Nexstar. I'm guessing Nexstar is going to air it if they haven't said anything yet, but it's been quiet on that front. But that's another like 20% of the audience if Nexstar decides to not air it. So we'll see. He might come back, but he might come back to a much smaller audience. Here's the message that came out earlier today. Statement on Jimmy Kimmel Live from the Walt Disney Company. Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show. I thought Trump made the decision. You guys made the decision? I thought it was Trump. I thought Trump did this. I thought Trump was like, the government's going to like murder you if you don't get rid of Jimmy Kimmel. I guess it wasn't Trump. To suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. Some people are saying this was the plan. This was all a big fucking work to get everybody talking about Jimmy, to get the ratings up. They did all this on purpose. They never planned on actually getting rid of him. I mean, it sure seems to have worked. They turned him into a bit of a martyr symbol on the left. And it looks like he's coming back. I said he would probably be back. I said this, I forgot what episode, a couple episodes ago when I was talking about it. I was like, I bet Jimmy's going to be back. I bet you they're not going to really get rid of him because it was only a suspension. They were always leaving the door open for bringing Jimmy Kimmel back. And it looks like he's coming back. But the question is, what about these other, like Sinclair and Nexstar? What are they going to do? Sinclair did make a statement. Beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across our ABC affiliate stations and replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return. So again, Sinclair is leaving a door open. That maybe he'll end up back on Sinclair. Maybe he'll end up back on all the affiliates. I mean, if they want to, it's up to ABC. If to me, like everybody made this a free speech issue. This is not a free speech issue. This is a company, ABC. This is not a platform. Like, you have no right to your job. Unfortunately, your company that you work for can get rid of you at any time if they don't like what you say, what you do, even if it's not at work. This is not a free speech issue. So, yeah, I mean, if ABC wants to bring them back, fine. I mean, fuck. The show sucks. Nobody's going to watch it. It'll have a little bump. And then when people go, oh, that's right, this show sucks. Why am I watching this? The numbers will start crashing again. But in the short term, it's going to have a big bump. Everybody's going to be interested in it. What's up, Just One? Daryl Strawberry. What's up, Daryl Strawberry, man? What a baseball player you are, bro. Jolly Green. No, don't bring his ass back. Well, I mean, if ABC thinks it's worth it to bring him back, Jolly Green, let him bring him back. I don't think it's a good decision. I think they should be moving on and trying to find somebody who could actually pull some fucking viewers. That might be more important, but I think they're getting a lot of shit. They're getting a lot of shit from the left-wing audience. They're really mad. They're canceling all kinds of shit, everything. They're canceling their Disney plans and their Disney vacations. So I'm sure they're seeing a loss of money. But, they've been grifting to these people for a while. So it probably would hurt ABC pretty bad to piss off the left because, I mean, fuck. They've been just, placating them for so long now. A lot of their audience is the left. It's not a lot of right-wing guys that are watching Disney, to be honest. And this is Sinclair. This is a map of all the stations across the United States that Sinclair owns and will not be broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel. Again, it's like 20% of the total ABC affiliates are owned by Sinclair. So a lot of it's a lot of area that Kimmel's not going to be shown in. Looks like it's a lot of middle America where there's not that many people. It doesn't matter. All that matters is New York. All that matters is New York and LA. Everything else, fucking nothing matters, dude. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm being sarcastic, but let's see this here. Fox News Martha McCallum on Jimmy Kimmel returning to ABC tomorrow night. We know some of the local affiliate networks that carry the show were instrumental in the decision to suspend the show. We'll see what decision they make. So looks like Sinclair's not on board yet. They might be. They didn't say no 100%. But I'm wondering when Nexstar is going to say something. The fact that we've not heard anything from Nexstar yet tells me Nexstar is probably not going to go the Sinclair route.
Jimmy Kimmel back
on
the air tomorrow evening. That is the word from Disney. Owner of ABC, Kimmel's show was suspended last week after comments that he made about the suspect in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Disney now saying, quote, "It is a decision that we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday," which is something that they left the option out there on, really.
So he'll be back as soon as tomorrow night, guys. So all of you guys that are sad about Jimmy Kimmel going away, he's back. He'll be back tomorrow. You can be back to watching the Jimmy Kimmel late night show, whatever the fuck it's called. I won't be. I'll look for the highlights on the internet and I'll see like what did he talk about. I'm not gonna watch the show though.
When they made this
I'm not going to change my viewing schedule for that fuckhead. What's up, Spocko? Welcome to the team, brother. Thank you.
Decision. We know some of the companies, the networks that carry the show were also instrumental in that decision. We'll see what decision they make about carrying the show, but it'll be back tomorrow night for Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy Kimmel? So there's an interesting angle to this that some people are trying to play up that like they might be caving in to some sort of terroristic threats. I don't know how much I buy this, but if you remember, there was an ABC building that was shot at in Sacramento. The man who shot up Sacramento's ABC station because they suspended Jimmy Kimmel left a note warning Trump officials they're next, referenced Charlie Kirk. More leftist violence. California released him on bail. I heard that too. Like they released him the next day. That's funny. California released him on bail, but now he's been rearrested by the FBI. He even signed the note, CK, Charlie Kirk from above. Do not support Patel, Bongino. This is from his note. Do not support Patel, Bongino, or an AG Pam Bondi. Well, I mean, we could use a better messenger on that one. But yeah, they're next. The note from the guy who shot at the ABC building. CK from above, the note obtained by National Review said. A calendar reminder saying, do the next scary thing was also located. Leftist violence is out of control. Some people are saying they're caving because of this. I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly why they're caving. Yeah, it's everybody on his list. But yeah, fortunately nobody was hurt. But yeah, I mean that's Tim saying it. Tim says, "Whoa!" News reports state ABC caved and brought back Jimmy Kimmel. Canceled the Kirk tribute. That's right. They were supposed to the Kirk memorial that happened yesterday, which we'll get into some of that. It's the response to that's been off the fucking wall, dude. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a good look. Let's attack a fucking widow because she didn't behave the way you think she should be. It's like, dude, she's a widow. Just leave her the fuck alone. I mean, come on, man. Come on. That's crazy. We'll get into some of that later. But yeah, they did cancel the Kirk tribute. I was like, I wonder why they did that. Because, I mean, the ratings would have been fucking huge. After the shooting of ABC affiliate in California and further threats of terror. I mean, if that's the case, they should come out and say it. They should come out and say, yeah, we're scared of terrorism against us. We're scared of being murdered by the left if we cancel Kimmel. I don't know. That might be a bit of a reach. Might be a bit of a reach. What's up with the spot? Was that you? Let me change it back on, Spocko. Thank you, Spocko.
Spocko super chatted $4.99. If only Walt would return, he'd fire everyone at Disney.
They'd fire him first, man. I don't know if Walt would stand a chance against the modern Disney. It's a little too old, a little too late for Walt to come and fix it now. But yeah, I mean, it's everything's kind of gone to shit. A lot of companies have gone to shit, and it's the DEI, the placating, the fucking crazy left. It kind of tends to ruin companies, but they still do it. I don't know. It seems like there are some companies that are kind of getting smart now about it and realizing, maybe we need to kind of stay away. I mean, at least, stay away from politics. Just try to like serve people and like give them good service or whatever your business is. Like do a good job at it and stop just like, oh, I'm just going to grift to these, this one political side and maybe they'll be my customers. Okay, yeah, we got ahead. So yeah, that's it for the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. There's not a lot on it. So basically, he's going to be back tomorrow night. Sinclair's not going to be broadcasting him. I haven't heard anything from Nexstar, which to me means Nexstar's probably going to broadcast on their affiliates. And yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. I think he's going to get a big ratings boost when he comes back, and then people are going to remember that the show sucks, and then they're going to stop watching, and the ratings will crash. And I mean, if I was ABC, not even based on the fucking embarrassment that he committed against the network when it came to Charlie Kirk and him trying to blame MAGA, besides that, I would still be wanting to get rid of him because the ratings have just been going off a cliff forever, and it's just not a good show. It's not a good show. I mean, we don't need a late night show. Just replace it with something else that people actually want to watch, But that would be me. ABC can do whatever the fuck it wants. I'm not going to cry about it.
John McCarter super chatted $1.99, so they gently spanked Kimmel.
I mean, that's what they're making it sound like. They had a heart-to-heart, and they've come to to me, it seems like it wouldn't really be surprising to me if they saw the writing on the wall and was like, ooh, Trump's people are saying they want to get rid of us, and they're threatening to pull our license. Why don't we like suspend Kimmel, and then that's gonna be a rallying cry, and then everybody's gonna want him back, and then when we bring him back, it'll be more ratings. Now, are they smart enough to actually be that strategic with it, or no? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but a lot of people do. I saw like Sobek was saying like definitely this was all a planned strategy to get Kimmel's ratings back up. I don't know. I think what he said was so fucking dumb, and it pissed off so many people that they got rightfully scared, and they're like, yeah, we got to pull him, and it just happened to be good for him. Just happened to be good for him because the left needed some kind of rallying cry, and they got that with Kimmel. And yeah, free speech. They're the free speech guys now, and everybody that's like, I don't care if ABC wants to fire fucking Kimmel. Yeah, Trump should have not got involved. They should have just like kept their mouth shut. But at the end of the day, this is not a free speech issue. The same side who literally wants to fucking like celebrate when platforms ban people. Now they want to pretend like ABC is like.
Spocko super chatted $1.99. Replace it with reruns of The Man Show.
Yeah, just the one where he's in blackface Carl Malone. Just that episode over and over again. Or the one where he's going around. Was it The Man Show or was it? I forgot. Where he just goes around to random women asking them to have sex with them. And it's like, that's funny. I actually thought that was funny. Jimmy Kimmel has been funny in the past. It has happened, believe it or not. But not this new incarnation of Jimmy Kimmel. He fucking sucks. Thank you, Spocko. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But let's check in with the women's. Let me see if I haven't played this one in a while. Let's check in with the women's. We gotta check in on them, man. At least once a week, we gotta check in on the women's. This is out of order. I was going to do this later, but since we already got to this, we'll play this. Woman sold her boyfriend's shoe collection for $250 because he followed other women on social media and ignored her. Now, look, this could be fake. We'll see. We'll play it anyway.
Why are you selling all this?
He's been following other bitches on TikTok and Instagram, and I haven't heard a fucking thing from him.
Like, what are you trying to get for everything?
You make an offer. I don't know.
I would have to take everything out of the trunk and like go through one by one, like break it all down so I can make you a good offer.
She didn't even say he was cheating on me. He was talking to other women on social media. I can understand being mad about it, but damn, women don't give a fuck about your property, dude. Do not, if you're not married to a chick, you probably should, even if you're living with her, you should probably have your own fucking space to keep your stuff, just in case.
I don't want to do any of that shit. That's just.
I mean, imagine having a shoe collection that big. First of all, it's fucking dumb. Like, what are you doing? Are you a fucking rapper? Are you an NBA player? You need that many fucking shoes? I have like 3 pairs of shoes I've had for years now. But yeah, I guess that's why I'm not cool. I don't have 250 pairs of fucking sneakers.
It's gonna take too long.
It's
How do
crazy.
you want me to make you an offer then? Like, you want me to just eyeball
Look at
it?
it. Yeah, eyeball.
How many pairs is it?
I don't fucking know.
No fucking. It looks like probably like. Would you say like over 150?
Probably. I don't
It
care.
goes back here too. Okay. $1,500 for everything.
You can give me 300.
Why would?
Lady. Now I'm starting to think this is fake. There's no way you're this stupid where you're gonna cut. The guy offers you $1,500. You're like, I'll take 300. There's no way, dude. There's no way.
Why would I care? You can lick those bitches' pussies for all I care. I don't give a fuck.
What did you say?
300.
Bring you 1,500.
I said 300. I don't care. I want to see the look on his face when he sees that I sold all his shit for 300.
So that's gonna own your. It's gonna own your fucking boyfriend. I guarantee you, in like 3 or 4 days, when she calms down and she's back with her boyfriend, she's gonna be calling him like, can we get the shoes back? I'll give you the 300 back. And that dude's gonna be like, no, sales final. I'm gonna go make like $5,000 off of that 300.
So I'm gonna offer you. That's just.
You want to go lower? 250.
Jesus Christ, this is not the win you think it is, lady.
You're dead serious,
I'm
right?
dead serious.
Yeah, she is good looking. Someone says she's kind of homely. I mean, I don't know. She's cute. She's definitely cute. She's you know. I wouldn't trust her though. I wouldn't try. I mean, if she's gonna do this, like, there's probably a ton of other things she'll do that are not good.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you if you're.
She's got that like stabby vibe, you know. It's like the women Davey always date. Davey, I don't know what's Davey gets like very good looking women, but all of them have that kind of look in their eyes, like they could stab you at any moment. You know, there's certain women you can see it in their eyes, like, yeah, if I pissed her off enough, she would definitely stab me.
Gonna
Fucking hate that bitch.
If you're gonna lowball yourself, like, I mean, I'm not gonna.
Spocko
I'm not
super
lowballing my-
chatted $1.99. Someone saw high fidelity.
It's a thing, man. I don't know if you're. I'm not familiar with the reference to high fidelity, but I'm assuming you're talking about his collection of shoes, or maybe I don't know. But I've noticed this is a thing. This is what a lot of guys do. They collect sneakers. You know, I kind of get it in the black community. Like that's their culture. Whatever, they love sneakers and they collect them like crazy. But for me, it's just like, dude, it's what the fuck. You only need a couple pairs of shoes. Yeah, maybe you want 4 or 5 different shoes, like different colors to match different outfits or something. Okay, that's still a little gay, but all right. Real men, they should never have more than just like sneakers, like athletic sneakers, dress shoes, and then maybe like some work boots. That's all you need, dude. And if one of them gets fucked up, you clean them or you go buy a new pair. You don't need 150 different fucking pairs of sneakers. It's overkill. It's overkill. Kind of weird, but I guess, you know, if that's your collection, that's your thing. I mean, who am I to judge you, right?
Myself, I'm lowballing him.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I bet you he smashed that night. It's like, how bad do you want to get back? How bad do you want to get back at your boyfriend? You know, you're gonna sell these for 300. It could be fake. It could be fake. That's the problem. You just don't know what everybody's making these fake fucking videos for clout. So yeah, you might fall for it every now and then. I know I do. You know, how can you tell? Yeah. People think they can know right away when something's fake. Like, you know, the acting wasn't too bad. You got to like be a really bad actor for me to be able to tell. Candace Owens suggests that Charlie Kirk was shot from underground tunnels. Maybe everyone is looking up when we should be looking below. This is getting out of control, man. It's like every time I turn around, it's like, no, he was shot from the left. No, he was shot from the back. No, there was a drone that shot him. Oh, now there's a secret fucking tunnel that they opened the door to. They shot him from the secret tunnel. No, actually, it was his lavalier. No, it was the battery pack. They exploded the battery pack. It was his microphone. Everything but the guy who actually, you know, confessed to shooting him. Everything but that guy. And then, you know, now the big thing is the 30-06. Like, there's no way that wouldn't have gone through and created an exit wound and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, the video, from all I've seen, the video clearly shows him being hit from the front. I'll have to take Candace's word on this. She says she saw the video from behind and there was no blood, meaning there was no exit wound from behind. So from the video, from everything I've seen, it appears like it went in and didn't come out from the video itself. But no, there's no way a 30-06 could ever fucking hit a body and not go through every single time, 100% of the time. So you're saying it's impossible. You're saying it's impossible. Okay. But the latest now on the bullet was that it went in at a downward trajectory. Apparently it hit some bone and then went down, more of a downward trajectory. It went through multiple vertebrae and then shattered. And the surgeon found the bullet in Kirk, but like in pieces. It was a shattered bullet at that point. Everybody's like, oh, that's unbelievable. It could never happen. It's like whatever people say happened, that's definitely impossible to happen. Like maybe it could have happened. Maybe it's possible. Who knows? Bullets do weird fucking things, bro. It's not impossible to think that, oh, the bullet could have ricocheted in a way that it stayed inside of him. And then the video evidence, to me, backs that up. You don't have an exit wound. You have just an entry in the front. So, but who knows, man? Who knows, dude? All I know is that the experts on the internet, they're going to figure it out. They're going to get down to it. They might have 100 different conspiracies and all think 100 different things, but they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out, guys.
There was a massive pipeline that was almost exactly behind where Charlie was sitting. Here's that.
What's up, Toby?
Pipeline. I don't know.
Hope you're doing good, brother.
But there it is under the flag. And to your right, I went into my tips line and I saw it.
Yeah, so I think this is it. This is the little tunnel because, I don't know if people know this, but there's shit underground. There's always shit underground.
Somebody messaged me about this. More than one person messaged me about this.
Literal shit, by the way. That's where our shit goes. It's called the sewers.
They're like, hey, yeah, there's like a whole underground thing there. And to your right, you're observing those two little boxes. And they told me that was a trap door. Now, I'm not implying someone, popped up and shot Charlie.
No, you're not implying that. You're just introducing the possibility of that.
But that's a close-up of that area.
You're telling me somebody opened this fucking trap door and nobody saw it and was like, dude, this trap door opened and somebody came out and shot a gun. Nobody saw that?
I'm just implying that there's an entire underground there. And I remember when I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up. I don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert. But if there was a hatch door nearby, then we can assume, as we should always assume with colleges, obviously stadiums, there's always an underground path. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that. While everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2, and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which...
I need Cash to go down into this tunnel right now. I need video from Cash Patel himself. I need to see you climb down this tunnel, Cash Patel. Otherwise, I don't believe a damn thing you say. I don't know. Like, look, I think there's still a possibility, like, maybe he was working with people. We need to figure out if there were people that were helping him, if there's other people maybe tied into the Discord who knew about it, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know. I don't know why everybody's, I know why. It's conspiracies are more fun, right? And everybody wants another JFK conspiracy because that's fun. That's great. It's a lot more fun than just having the story.
$1.99. It was the Fraggles.
It was the Fraggles. Those damn freaking Fraggles, bro. Always the Fraggles. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's not hard for me to go, okay, this possibly, what we're hearing could possibly be what happened. Could have been a crazy fucking dude who was, by his own words, hated Charlie Kirk and thought that he needed to go. And then, someone a lot like the people we're seeing on the internet now who have celebrated this. And, yeah, he had a rifle and he shot him, But what do I know? I'm not an expert like everybody on the internet who's apparently experts in everything. Yeah. So yeah, that's the next one. Maybe it was a fucking trap door. They opened the trap door, it popped out, and then went back under the trap door. Nobody saw anything. Everybody's looking at the rooftop. It's the trap door, guys. It's a trap door. Fuck, what's it gonna be next? Aliens, dude? Fucking, it was the aliens, bro. It was the aliens. They fucking teleported and shot him, then teleported away. Yeah, so here's some of the shit about Charlie Kirk's memorial, which I watched some of it. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I was like kind of checking in on it now and then. And yeah, the usual suspects, they're really upset. This was a Nazi fucking rally, guys. It wasn't a memorial for a man who just got murdered by political violence. It was a Nazi rally, guys. Past year here, this is a Dr. Kevin M. Young. FYI, Fourth Reich political rallies are not memorial services. It's not going to get any better. They're not going to calm down, are they? They're not. They're just going to keep doubling down, and they're attacking Erica Kirk. They're attacking her pretty hard, which is, to me, nasty work. I mean, at least give it a couple months, you know? I mean, Jesus Christ. Especially this I keep seeing this, like her and Trump like hugged, and they're picking this apart in every which way they can. Inappropriate doesn't even come close to describing whatever the fuck this is, according to this guy. I swear to God, they just see Trump and they just go right into triggered. It's just right into, oh, what he's doing is bad. Oh, it's like, what are you talking about? They're sitting there, a song's playing, Trump's trying to pick up the mood. Trump's trying to be the man and like kind of lift spirits. But everything's just terrible, right? Everything's terrible. And there she is, like trying her best to get through a very difficult time. And dude, they're just piling on her, bro. Yeah, I mean, then you got protesters outside.
To another one. Erica Kirk has got to go.
This person. They're not stopping, guys. They think they're in the right. They think like, again, maybe we'll get to it. I might play it at the end. Like crystal fucking balls doing the same thing where it's like, of course I condone violence. Oh, but Charlie was this or that. It's like, yeah, you're saying I condone violence, but then trying to justify it by being like, but Charlie was a terrible fucking person and he said terrible things, and it is. It's frustrating because they've been saying we're the violent ones. They're saying, oh, the right's the violent ones. They're the violent ones. They're always saying things, and it's like, it's almost like they conditioned everybody to be like, oh, when the left does some violence, remember, it was the right who was violent first, even though it was just words. Again, they don't have a distinction between like physical violence and like words. It's essentially the same thing. And you see that again and again with the way they talk about shit.
Erica Kirk has got to go. Erica is grifting on Charlie Kirk. Erica.
Yeah. I don't know. This guy's got a mental issue, I think. I don't think he's all there. And then they're trying to like say like Trump and Erica Kirk were like, there's some sort of sexual aspect to this. These guys just weave whatever weird shit. You know, it's like, how can I take this little clip and then like make it seem like some really nefarious thing? And then they're like, oh, why is she doing the horns? Why is she doing the devil horns? She's the Illuminati. Yeah, apparently this is, where's Trump's hand going, says Lord Amy Kent. Why is Erica Kirk smiling? Why are Americans so heartless? Everything is just fucking, like this one I think is the one they made the biggest deal about. There's a moment where Trump looks like he's legitimately uncomfortable. And that could be for a million reasons. Maybe because it's an emotional moment and they're trying to hold back their emotions. Who knows? But of course, let's make it sexual. See, that's the part. They're hyper focused on this right here. Oh my God, he bit his lips. Oh my God, he bit his lips. You know, he totally wanted to just grab her by the pussy right there, right? You know, that's totally what was going on, right? Right. And then they show the clips of him dancing with Epstein, and they're like, see, he was biting his lips when he was dancing with Epstein. Clearly, he was thinking nasty thoughts. It's like, damn, you people are disgusting. You can't even fucking let people mourn. You really can't. I mean, there's a bunch of these, dude. Like a bunch of posts just highlighting this with crazy SSR eyes. People with the SSR eyes. Who, yeah. What can I say about them? They're wonderful people.
I don't. We can all read the thoughts going through his mind, right? Like, it's not just me. Ugh.
You can read the thoughts. You're a fucking psychic, you dumb bitch. You can read the thoughts going through his mind? No, you're not crazy. You're not crazy or a liar. Guys, we got a mind reader here. Maybe you should send her a message. I'd like to know what my future entails. You know, come on. We got. Why haven't you won any sort of lottery or something? If you can read minds, put that to use. Like, make some money off of it. I mean, that's pretty good. If you can read minds, you should be able to make a lot of money off of that. But yeah, I'm glad we got a mind reader here.
That definitely was
You're mentally ill, lady. You're mentally ill.
What is this timeline?
You're mentally ill. So yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fucking people that are just going over every little instance of the memorial. Like, oh, why do they have sparklers? Why is there fireworks? This looks like a WWE event. And it's like, maybe because they want it to be a celebration of Charlie Kirk's life. But no, you cannot have a memorial unless everybody's sad, crying. The music's got to all be sad. Everybody's got to be sad. You can't have a celebration of life, which is what this was. It was a celebration of Charlie Kirk. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Destiny. The Charlie Kirk Memorial is indistinguishable from a Nazi rally. And fuck anyone who pretends it's not. They've lost their mind, guys. Let's listen to this Nazi rally.
I forgive him.
Oh, what a Nazi, guys. That's what such a Nazi. Forgiveness? That's a Nazi trait. That's what remember when Hitler came on stage and was like, I forgive the Jews. Remember that? It's right out of Hitler's playbook, guys. This is Hitler 101, okay? Yeah. I actually think this was a pretty powerful message. I appreciate her saying this. The idea behind, Christian forgiveness is like, not that we won't have justice. It doesn't mean, okay, you're free to go. We're not going to charge you for murder. No, I mean, spiritually you forgive because it's the best thing for you is to forgive. It really is. If you're somebody holding on to anger and fucking, you want revenge and all that, that's not the Christian way, and it actually eats away at your heart, your mind, and your soul. So I think that's a good message. Obviously, we should have justice. I don't think she's saying, oh, well, let him out of jail. Just let him be free. No. But she's saying, in a spiritual way, I forgive you. And that's the first step to healing. For Erica, fuck the guy that shot Charlie Kirk. But for you as a victim, you don't want to stay a perpetual victim. And one of the ways to actually not be a perpetual victim is to learn forgiveness and to practice it with people in your life. So God bless Erica Kirk. Pretty sad stuff. Tucker got in a whole bunch of shit because he brought up the Jews. Tucker can't help himself. It's almost like, how do you not know when you bring up a story like this and you bring up hummus? You're like kicking the hornet's nest over there, Tucker, don't you? You know that, right? But yeah, this little speech here, it really, really got people mad at him.
Ultimately, he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about.
Did you have to go there, dude? Did you have to pull out the hummus line? Look, I get it. Oh my God, he's blaming the Jews for the death of Jesus. I don't know. Maybe your problem's actually with the gospel. It's not with Tucker, because that's actually what's in the gospel. Maybe you should be mad at like Mark, Paul, Luke, and fucking Matthew, you know? Maybe you should be mad at those guys. Because, there is some truth to it. Obviously, the Romans had to, they couldn't execute anybody without the Romans were like the authority. So to execute somebody had to go through the Romans. But it was brought to the Romans by, you know, the Jewish synagogues who were not happy about Jesus. And that's according to the gospel. Doesn't mean all Jews are responsible for Jesus' death. And, you know, there is a part of Christianity that thinks like, you know, that was actually the plan. Jesus' plan was to come and to die and to, you know, die for the sins of humanity. And everybody had to play their part. There are people that are out there like Judas actually gets a bad rap. Like Jesus told Judas to turn him in. And it's like, But yeah, I mean, that's what's in the gospel. So I mean, I don't know, if you have a problem, take it out with the gospel. But yeah, I don't know, man. He got a lot of shit. It was just like one post after another, all calling Tucker anti-Semitic, and then they're like, Turning Point needs to get rid of Tucker, and blah 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 blah. Apparently, they're not. Tucker's still going to be working with Turning Point, which is cool. Because, I mean, you can, if you really want to be picky, you can look at the message and go, look, he's attacking Jews. But no, his message is a Christian message. You know, about what happens when you speak truth to power. It's a real message, and it's what happened to Jesus, and it's what happened to many people throughout history who've decided to go up against the power establishment and speak truth. You become an enemy, and a lot of times it's not good for you in the long run. I mean, maybe it's good for your soul, it's good for humanity, but yeah, your body, it's usually not good for. They use that part, you know, the physical part of your body actually surviving and breathing. That's the part it's not good for. But yeah, I mean, they're just finding anything to be crazy. The only problem I had with this was the laugh. He should have held back on the laugh.
What do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I could just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
The laugh is like, dude, maybe you're a little too insane sometimes, Tucker. You could have done without the laugh after. Maybe we'll kill him. It's like, dude, okay. All right. Settle down, Tucker. Settle down. But yeah, they do protest too much. It's too much complaining. It's like, I'm sorry. That's what the gospel says. Go read the gospel of Mark. Yeah, maybe that's where your problem is, you know? It's the story that was told, okay? Okay?
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everything is inverted.
So yeah, a lot of people got mad. The usual suspects who are just attacking Ted Cruz, Mark Levine. They just made it their fucking life's purpose to get Tucker outed as an anti-Semite, man, like the next coming of Hitler. I'm sure Nick Fuentes is mad about this because, you know, Nick always seems to get mad when anybody else gets publicity like this. He's like, wait a minute, why are they attacking him? Why are they attacking him? I'm the guy that hates the Jews, not Tucker. He's taking my Jew hate shine. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Nick. No hate for Nick. I feel bad. Now it's funny. I feel bad for Nick because he's getting shit on so much by his own people. I'm like, oh, poor guy. Poor guy. You know, I do. I feel bad for Nick now. Don't take Tylenol, guys. Apparently, it's Tylenol that's been causing autism this whole time. Do you know that? Did you know that? It's fucking Tylenol. I don't know whether to believe this or not. Fortunately, I don't really like Tylenol. Tylenol has never really worked very well for me. I like ibuprofen. I'm not an acetaminophen guy. I'm an ibuprofen guy. So, but apparently, they seem to be saying that like pregnant women especially should not be taking Tylenol. That there's a link between that and autism. But I don't know. I am a little suspicious, hesitant to fully buy this, but maybe they're right. Let's see.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born.
I remember I did get I've never really been allergic to anything, but when I was younger, there was a period there where it was listed that I was allergic to Tylenol. I think what it was is my mom gave it to me when I was too young, and it made me break out in a rash. So yeah, you're not supposed to give like young kids Tylenol anyway, I don't think. So I don't know. But again, I'm an ibuprofen guy, so.
And you know what? We have more than 3 years left. And I told Bobby and the doctors behind me, and they are so committed to this, I told them that this is the number one thing I want to do from you. And you know, we have something else called Favored Nations, where I'm going to be reducing drug prices by 1,000%. Don't.
Let's see. That'd be nice, right? We can get some cheaper drugs, bro. Give me those cheap drugs, bro. How about the biologics are the only one I would like to use and care about, you know. I'd like to see biologics get cheaper for those of us with autoimmune disorders. So yeah, here's this body language guy dives into the theory or whatever, the latest claims that the bullet actually didn't go through Charlie Kirk and was found inside of him. Which a lot of people refuse to believe. They think, oh, for sure they're lying. There's no way, you know, a 30-06 wouldn't just go right through. But then there's other little nuance to it that I've heard, like there's different types of 30-06. You have like different grain loads. So you have some that are lighter, some are heavier. Also, it could be because it's an older gun. Maybe it doesn't fire at the same velocity as like a newer gun would. Who knows, man? Who knows? But you know, if you got something going at a downward angle and it hits a bone, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it would then skip downward, further down. And then it's going to hit more bone, and shatter. Bullets sometimes shatter inside the body. And that's the story they're telling us. So, I don't know. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Some people are acting like it's completely out of the realm of possibility. There's no way. There's no way. It's like, really? No way? Absolutely zero way? Anything like this could ever happen? Okay.
So this is a video that might upset some of you. I'm pretty sure that some of you are going to be angry at me for making this video. Maybe you will hit the dislike button.
Oh, I'm going to be so angry, Jesus. You pissed me off, bro.
I
so mad.
Will welcome your opinion on this, but this is something that I have to make. I have to make this video about the latest update on the Charlie Kirk assassination case, and it's something that many of you, and you have already reached out to me by email, many of you will not like. The latest development was that Andrew Calder, the spokesperson for TPUSA, gave an update about what was the reason there is no exit wound in Charlie's body after being shot with a 30-06. And this is his statement approved by, well, he asked for permission before releasing this. I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize, this is somewhat graphic. But in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with a surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital. He said the bullet absolutely should have gone through, which is very, very normal for a high-powered, high-velocity round. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times, and they always just go through everything. This would have taken a moose or two down, an elk, etc. But it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. He was rather vague about this. I think that he wanted to clear things up, but the problem is that Andrew ended up being way too vague for, well, it's not like we wanted a graphic description, but we needed some kind of anatomical description of what happened with that bullet, because as I said, there's all this online noise around what happened with the bullet, and that is distracting us from the thing that I'm about to address after this. I mentioned to his doctor that there were dozens of staff, students, and special guests standing directly behind Charlie on the other side of the tent. And he replied, it was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. He has used the word miracle twice. Please notice that, but take account of that.
Yeah, they're religious, they're Christian, so they're going to use the word miracle. I wouldn't have used the word miracle. It's not a miracle. If it's in the realm of possibility, that's not a miracle. It's just a very low chance of it happening.
His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel.
Shouldn't have said that either. That was stupid.
All right. It should have just gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too. In the end, the coroner did find a bullet just beneath the skin. Even in death...
I've even seen some people now that are like, okay, they believe the bullet didn't go through, right? But now it's like, okay, then there's no way it was a 30-06. So, okay, I believe you. I believe the surgeon. We didn't see an exit wound. We only saw an entrance wound from the front. But if this is the case, then there's no way it was a 30-06. So now they're lying about the bullet that was used.
Charlie managed to save the lives of those around him. Remarkable and 1/3 time miraculous. I mean, I am not saying that I don't believe in miracles. I absolutely do. But it's like, the problem with this is that it would help a lot if we knew the actual trajectory of how the bullet hit a vertebra, which is what it seems to have happened, and then what deflected from in some way. Now, before you jump into the comments and begin to, get nuclear about this, especially about the men.
Granola Grin, I'm not sure what your question's referring to. He says, hold up, so how did all the blood spill from the left side of his neck? That was the entrance wound. And that was very, I'm tired of seeing it, man. I've seen it so many times, like the amount of blood that flew out of that guy's neck in such a short amount of time. It's hard to watch. And it's hard to avoid on X. Every time I go on X, somebody sneaks a fucking other clip of it in there, or it's a freeze frame of the moment the bullet hit his neck. And it's like, Jesus, dude, can't you guys at least fucking put a little, cover on it and say, hey, this is graphic material? I don't want to see that anymore. But yeah, that was the entrance wound, right? There's only one hole, and it's where the bullet went in. According to the official story, there's no exit wound. And that's why everybody's suspicious, because a round of that size, a 30-06, should have went through. But in this case, they're saying because it was a downward trajectory, when it hit his spinal column or whatever, that made the ricochet go further down into his body, going through multiple vertebrae, which at that point, the amount of force going through all the vertebrae shattered the bullet into pieces. And when the surgeon was doing his work, he found the pieces of the bullet fragment. Okay, it wasn't one bullet. It was shattered into multiple pieces. That's the story I've heard. Hopefully I'm relaying it correctly. That is not out of the realm of possibility. So I don't know. People are saying it's impossible. That's no way that could happen. It's like, really? It's 0% possibility that could happen? Really? Really?
And of a steel part, and I wouldn't blame you. I'm going to play a clip from Alex Jones himself. And you know that Alex Jones is the godfather of conspiracy theories. And this is Alex Jones talking about this.
So I call him and he goes, listen, I don't want to give the details out. I said, well, I can't help it if I'm explaining. He goes, okay, fine, but it's really gruesome. And he said that, again, he's being shot from down an angle. It hits the spine and then bounces down, which is what it's going down. And then it deflects with his velocity, goes back into the spine, blows out 6 vertebrae. The bullet then shatters. That's what they do. I've shot wild hogs straight on. This has happened, and deer, and then exploded into the heart, and fragments shot up. So he oversimplified when he said, oh, then they found the bullet up in the shoulder by the neck. No, it was.
So I want to put this in perspective that if you have Alex Jones, who have absolutely no qualms on, making up or let's say doing the research on the greatest conspiracies that can be out there and getting in real trouble about that. himself confirming after he claimed that he spoke to people inside that have inside information that the bullet entered at an angle from the front. We already know that. Hit the vertebra. We already had that theory. I already made that theory. And then it just went down and blew up and was, let's say, slowed down by more vertebrae by finally exploding. Not exploding, but being fragmented inside Charlie's body. And when fragments been found right next to basically his skin, it is not uncommon. And he also goes on, this is like 7 minutes. He explains that he has shot this kind of caliber many times. It's like Alex Jones. It's like if you could say that there's a conspiracy theory about this, it means that they paid Alex Jones a lot of money to say, well, what? Debunks all those conspiracy theories.
You can't, everybody keeps trying to go off what Alex Jones is saying. It depends, like, what time of the day is it? I mean, I'm seeing all Alex Jones. One video, he's like not believing it. Then 10 minutes later, he believes it. Then 10 minutes later, he doesn't believe it. It's like, come on. Don't use Alex Jones as your guiding light on this one, because he keeps changing his mind, because it's a moving situation. And the one thing I think we can all agree with is that bullets behave in very unpredictable ways. For people to go, the bullet would have absolutely done this every single time. No, that's just not the nature of bullets. When they hit things, they fucking, chaos erupts. And you can't really predict that, unfortunately. But everybody just, one thing they know for sure is whatever the official story is, that's not true. Whatever the official story is, it's definitely not that, guys. That's how everybody's going to treat it. For me, it's like, I don't really have a reason to not believe it at this point. I don't buy into Israel was killing. I mean, was it the Israelis? Was it the Ukrainians? Was it the Chinese or was it the commies? It's like, I don't think there's any reason for any government or foreign intel agency to want to take out Charlie Kirk of all fucking people. Like, I don't know. Now, like after the fact, everybody's like, well, definitely he was going to turn on Israel. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, it's just so much speculation, and have fun speculating, but it's what it is. It's speculation. And we'll see as more information comes out, because obviously they're going to have to, they're not sharing everything because they got a case they want to put together. So they want to keep some of the details locked up right now. But, as the case plays out, hopefully we'll get more information and more information as to what happened. We'll let the actual ballistic experts, what they should be doing is they should be getting that same rifle, that same round. They should then, be able to test. Like, okay, how does this gun have a defect because it's an old gun from like before World War I? Does this gun not shoot as much velocity as like a newer gun? Is that maybe why it didn't go through? So I don't know. I just think everybody's speculating, and that's fine. Speculate. But to just be right away go, there's no way this is true. It's like, well, you're saying it's impossible that this could have happened? Because that's definitely not true. It's not impossible that this could have happened.
And by the way, all this confirms what I have been saying from the start. If you have been following me on this channel in the Battle Language Guy, then you know that this is all that I have been point by point, except for the bulletproof vest. I want to just, before I review everything, Erica Kirk went on to be interviewed by the New York Times, and she made it very clear that Charlie was not wearing any sort of bulletproof vest. So we can just let that topic to rest. But this confirms that
people will not, though. People are still going around going, yeah, he was definitely wearing a bulletproof vest. It definitely deflected off the vest, and that's why people are having a lot of fun diving deep into this one.
Everything that I have said from the start. Unmistakable shot from the front due to Charlie's body jolting backwards due to initial projectile force. Shooter aimed for the head but didn't properly account for drop, hits left side of Charlie's neck, severing the carotid artery. Due to the slight angle, the shooter was not directly in front of Charlie, was a bit to his left. The round hits a vertebra, and most likely this is what causes the actual jolt in Charlie's body, and the spine is literally destroyed on the spot. I had guessed right, according to Alex Jones. Bullet is thus deflected, decelerated while still inside Charlie's body. Again, confirmed by TPUSA's spokesperson. Alex Jones said the same. Inside Charlie's body, never exit, so no exit wound or exit blood spatter. Most important thing, the only way I can match a shot to the neck, highly impractical, easy to miss, and a weak round stopped by vertebrae, is that the round was defective in some way, something that can happen. Is that there's some odds that a round can be defective, and maybe it had more drop than expected, maybe it didn't have enough the same punch than a healthier round, so to speak. So higher bullet drop the shooter couldn't have accounted for, and less kinetic power. Still, that caliber is massive. I have to say it. That caliber is massive, and a human body stopping a 30.06. I have to say it. It's again. It's part of. If I want to talk about physics, I have to acknowledge that stopping a 30.06 with your spine, it is, we could say that it's a miracle. We could say that it's a miracle because
it's not a miracle. Bullets will deflect. Okay, so if it hits something and it deflects in a downward path, that's not a miracle. But I guess it's impossible that a bullet could hit something and deflect downwards. And if it does, in fact, deflect downward, where is it going to come out? It's going to just keep going till it comes out his butt? Or is it just, eventually going to run out of fucking kinetic energy after going through vertebrae after vertebrae after vertebrae, and then it shatters? Look, maybe they're lying. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe this is all bullshit, and it was some sort of device that detonated. It was his battery pack that had a secret maybe you guys are right. But I'm not going to just say this. There's no way this happened. There's no way it happened like this. It could have happened like this.
If it hits the spine in any way, it can just go through the spine. This way, this case, it seems that it was deflected and saved everyone who was behind him. Note, it has been confirmed that every source and photos of Charlie was not wearing any kind of bulletproof vest. Photos and videos also confirmed this. Erica Kirk herself confirmed that. And if you still think...
So definitely you guys think the surgeon was a deep state plant who's just lying, right? So the surgeon wasn't just some random guy that happened to be there on duty, on call, when Charlie Kirk showed up. He was a plant that's just lying to us. Everything's a deep state plant. I don't know, man. Like, at a certain point, if you don't believe anything, then what's the point of anything? Everything's a lie. What are we even doing here? What are we doing?
It was a shot from Charlie's right. Explain the lack of entry wound in every video. And the lack of blood spatter, and in the wound that we do see. You cannot explain that. Nobody can. Every single person that claims that the wound that we see is an exit wound, nobody can explain that there's no blood spatter on that exit wound. So that is way more unlikely. If I had to weigh in the two theories between...
well, first of all, the wound in his neck was, an entry-sized hole. It wasn't... The exit wound is usually pretty fucking huge, right? The exit wound is like... Whereas the hole looked like an entry wound. It was, what an entry wound would look like. I'm not a ballistics expert, so who knows, Everybody else is, though. Everybody else is on the internet. I'm not. But damn, I didn't know we had so many experts.
A spine basically stopping at 30.06 and an exit wound having no visible blood spatter, well, the spine stopping at the 30.06 will win automatically, because exit wounds, especially with that amount of blood that you saw on the sides, will have some kind of blood spatter, some kind of flesh matter. I don't want to get very graphic on that, but still there are questions, of course. There are still questions that have to be asked. I think the most important thing here is that Charlie is dead. And we have, let's say, we think we have the guy, we think we have the perpetrator. At some point there's a 95% of odds that Tyler Robinson was the one who shot the.
A lot of people don't believe that either. They think he's a patsy. I mean, he did turn himself in. Why would you do that? Of course, he confessed by text message, but those are all fake text as well. Like, what are we doing? If nothing's real, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
The gun. This is, we should see more footage of him. We're going to see his, I think that we will be able to see his hearing on September 29th and see more of his body language, see more of the accounts of what happened here. Maybe we can actually put him at that rooftop, but still we don't have the full footage of that 180 camera behind where he was shooting, because we should be able to see him in a prone position, firing that shot and then running. That camera caught that angle, and we don't have access to that footage. We don't have access to so much footage, so that is, well, convenient, I guess. We are left in the dark because of that.
Hopefully in time it comes out, but they also, you know, they have an investigation, right? So, like, should they just release everything right away? Or, I mean, you have to give it to the FBI. They got to build their case. The prosecutors got to fucking... I think, is there a possibility that this trial will be publicly televised? I think that would be good. Hopefully it is. And then everybody can see the evidence as presented by the prosecutor. And then, you know, I don't know, hopefully eventually everybody, all the armchair detectives, you know, they'll get all the information. But at this point, it's very clear to me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And there's rights. It's rightful to be questioning the government's narratives about shit. But it doesn't matter what they say. People will not believe it. People will just automatically go, oh, you're lying. There's no way this happened. This is impossible. There's no way it could happen this way. So yeah, at this point, who cares? It doesn't matter. No one's going to believe anyway. But why should the FBI even give you anything? You're not going to fucking believe it. You're just going to say, oh, you're lying. So, like, what's the incentive to actually share information? People are not going to believe it.
And also, Kash Patel...
Hopefully they do, though.
Well, at least he confirmed that more than 20 people have been investigated. Way more than 20 people have been investigated and related to the shooting, in which I insist, I don't think for a minute that Tyler Robinson acted alone. Of course, all the theories, oh, there was Mossad, it was Israel. Okay, if you have big claims about that, it would be great if you have evidence of it. It would be great if there would be more signs beyond just Charlie asking questions, when there is also enough footage of Charlie saying that he loves Israel and he wants Israel to win and such and such. So it's not like he asking questions, automatically asking questions about Israel was the thing. I don't know if there's confirmed that he was offered, I don't know what, how much money, like 150 million. I don't know who came up with that. I have no confirmation of it. So again, make of that what you will. What we do know is that Charlie Kirk is dead. No matter.
Spotter super chatted $4.99. This is the sad legacy of 60 years of sloppy police work.
Yeah, and lying to people. Purposely lying to people. People don't believe for, you know, good reasons. But at the end of the day, it gets a little out of control. It gets a little annoying. And then it seems like there are people out there who want to grift off of it. Because, believe it or not, making a video about going, hey, actually, it looks like the official story's adding up. And, you know, there might be some holes. There might be more that comes out. But it's kind of believable. That's not going to get views. What gets views is the conspiracy angle of everything. And that's just the way people are. You know, I'm that way too. I'll watch the conspiracy video over the one that's like, oh, actually, it's pretty, you know, it's not a crazy conspiracy. It's just exactly like they told us. It's a guy on a rooftop who fucking fired a gun. So yeah, people always go to the route that gets them more views. And that's, not surprising. That's the world we live in right now, unfortunately. But yeah, smash the thumbs up, guys, if you're enjoying the show. See if we can get the thumbs up going. It's the show's not really going out there to that many people today, which is wonderful. But yeah, if you want to help, hit the thumbs up. And then you can also become a member or send a super chat, and I'll react to your message.
Who killed him, although we want that person or that group of people to be brought to justice. The fact that he was murdered for just wanting to have conversations, the way that he has been slandered by the media, by celebrities, by people with huge platforms in every way possible. People have been celebrating his assassination up to this point. There's still people being fired because, well, their companies don't want to have anything to do with them. The fact that we are living with so many demons around us, people who are so evil, and yes, I know I said that on my Charlie Kirk speech.
Thank you, Cold C.
Cold C super chatted $4.99.
No message. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
Yes, so many of them are misled. So many of them are being brainwashed or were brainwashed, and they should be given at least an opportunity to, hey, watch Charlie Kirk's actual videos, and you tell me if he.
Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so there's somebody who's trying to say something about another video. There's a ton of, there's tons of fucking content out there, guys, about this fucking shit. So, I don't know. Do I want to go down that fucking rabbit hole of just, what was the video you were saying earlier? Let me see if I can find it again. I gotta go back to your comment. Somebody was suggesting a video. I could try to pull it up. Problem is with a lot of this shit is like they will play graphic shit that I'm trying not to play. Yeah, whoever was suggesting a video on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Was it you, Buddhist? New video evidence. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see what this pulls up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now...
All right, this guy's not going to play the fucking... him getting murdered again, I hope. Is this the one you guys wanted to watch? Okay, let's watch it. Let's watch it. Range Day Bro. Okay, got a ballistics expert here.
have acquired proof that the FBI's official story is false, whether knowingly or unknowingly. We're going to have an entire monologue and talk about a lot of these things after I show you this, but if you take nothing else away from this video, you need to see this.
And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does...
Bro, this is that one where they capture the bullet. I thought you couldn't capture a bullet on a camera like this. But the bullet's going too fast, the frame rate's too slow, it's not going to capture a bullet, but we're capturing a bullet now?
Line up with the actual gunshot itself. So we're not counting gang violence. Great.
So this video was created by a friend of mine who is a Marine. You'll see him here at the end. This is the angle he is showing the shot coming from, showing where Charlie was sitting, and the angle of the shot, which will...
Okay, well, this one should be very easy to prove or disprove, okay? When the autopsy should show if he was hit from this side, the entry wound should be on the right, and that left wound that we all saw, that's the exit wound. But it doesn't look like an exit wound. It looks like an entry wound. So that's what you're saying? You're saying he got shot from the right now, and the left is the actual exit wound. Okay. Okay.
Correspond with this video here, which unfortunately we will blur out Charlie.
Jesus Christ. See, this is why I don't like these fucking videos. Everybody wants to fucking... this murder porn shit. Like, let's watch this 100 times over, dude. Watch this 100 times over. He better not show anything.
Face, but we will show what is necessary.
Thank you for sending me that video. Thank you. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God, there was a tiny little movement back here. Oh my God, that means it came from the... Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. That video proves nothing, dude. No, it's not the only hole that he has, which is right here. It's not that. It's not that. Actually, it's here and then this tiny little hole and exit. It's not the way exit wounds look, dude. Fuck that, man. Yeah, I admit. Sorry, Spocko. You know, I literally was like, let's not. Hopefully, this is not. I didn't think you guys would be sharing the video that would actually be showing that again. And then I figured if it's not age restricted, it probably doesn't have it. But of course it is. Of course it's fucking. I guess YouTube's not age restricting that. I guess freeze framing the moment a man gets murdered and gets shot in the neck. I guess that's not age restricted, but I guarantee you they'll age restrict this version of it, right? You fucking, yeah, you're all a bunch of fucking experts, dude. That guy's an expert. He's a literal fucking expert. I shot a deer one time 20 years ago. I know this is impossible. This is fucking impossible. Suck my dick with that shit. Oh, let's watch it 20 more times, guys. Did you not see? There's a little flinch movement, which is like, it's happened so quick. It's almost like it's at the same time he gets hit and like, yeah, if his whole body's going to fucking, you know, move because of the force of the bullet. Kind of like, whatever, dude. Whatever, bro. That's conspiracy number 7,000. Where's the next 8,000 conspiracies? Oh, no, it wasn't that. It was actually the guy with the sideways gun. It was actually this here. It was actually that here. It was the aliens, guys. It was the fucking aliens. Dude, there's just there's nothing that you guys would believe. Like, you guys could literally go do the fucking autopsy yourself. Go do it yourself, because you're not going to believe anybody else's autopsy. You're not going to believe what the surgeon has to say. You're not going to believe the people that were there have to say. You're not going to believe what the investigation has to say. So, what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point, dude? Yeah, thanks for that video. That's great. That's the video I wanted to play, guys. That's why I needed to see that for the 7,000th time, guys. The 6,999th time I saw it on X was not enough. I needed it a 7,000th time, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. What was next? Yeah, so here's Crystal Ball. And them doing the same thing, which is like, oh yeah, of course murder's wrong. But he was so terrible.
100 million people in this country. And so to elevate that in this moment as if he's the one responsible for all of this happening ignores the fact.
I'm not being too dismissive. It's wild fucking speculation, Akuma Skill. That's what it is. It's wild fucking speculation where everybody watches it over and over, slow it down and freeze frame it. And what about this little detail? Look, his hair moved a split second first. It's like, it's just, it's at a certain point, it's like, dude, come on. Come on. Like, are we serious? Are we being serious? No, we're not. We're just trying to get fucking views. That's what we're doing.
The fact that half the country is with him and we have to live with that half of the country.
I mean, let me so I let me make a somewhat provocative point here. I mean, it's sort of like if you look at Israeli public opinion right now, the vast majority of Israelis are on board with genocide. So, you know, are we going to say like, oh, well, they support genocide, so we can't say like it was bad that, you know, let's say Ben Gvir got shot, you know, it was bad that he supported a genocide because Israelis are so on board with it, right? I find some of the views that Charlie Kirk and the president hold to be more. And actually, by the way, I mean, they do literally support a genocide as well. But the other thing I would say, Ryan, is to me, I would have more sympathy for that view if his assassination was not so quickly, immediately being weaponized by the president and Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance and the whole of the Republican Party and the whole of their media apparatus to foment an authoritarian crackdown in his name. So if they were going to, okay, let's take some time out, let's like cool it on the politics, let's take some time and just remember, okay, I would have more like sympathy for your argument that you're making. That's not the world that we live in. The world we live in is immediately Trump is out there using his death to go after trans people, to go after anyone who's broadly on the left.
They're the victims. It's always the same thing. They're the victims, guys. They're the victims. Oh, violence is bad, but they're so terrible. They're pro genocide. They're pro this or that. They're literally Nazis, but violence is bad. I'm going to keep saying all the things that causes violence to happen to them while I say violence is bad. Okay. They're the
to
real
crush
victims.
media outlets, etc. And so in that climate, like
Jimmy's
you
coming
can't
back.
wait weeks to clear the air about, okay, but here's what he actually said. Like, not even, me characterizing him as a fascist or whatever. Like, here's literally his quotes. Here's
Yeah, little snippets that are missing the full context of his actual belief, that are meant to make him look like some radical fucking racist, white supremacist Nazi. And it doesn't capture the full context of his beliefs. Yeah, that's what you're doing. That's great.
literally what he was doing. And it reminds me a bit of, after there's some horrific mass shooting and liberals want to say and the left want to say, like, we have to do something about gun violence. We have to do something about gun control. And the right says, oh, now's not the time to politicize. We can't talk about this now. The bodies are not even cold.
What are you talking about? Charlie Kirk showed up to talk about it and you shot him in the fucking neck. Oh, we can't talk about it. We're afraid. No, we're not afraid to talk about it because you're blame the Second Amendment, blame guns is just childish fucking rhetoric and it's stupid. The reason why we probably, don't bother a lot of times debating you is because your debating is fucking, it's pointless. You make up your own little reality where like guns are going around just murdering people on their own and you ignore the reality of guns actually save lives. You don't want to talk about the lives that guns save. You just want to talk about guns as if like, the guns are running around murdering people all on their own. And if only we got rid of guns, which by the way is a fairy tale, we're never getting rid of them. Guns are illegal in Chicago. People get guns in Chicago. Guns are illegal in, fucking a lot of the big cities. Like you cannot have a gun. Like to get a license to carry is like nearly impossible. Somehow all the criminals still have guns. Weird how that works. But yeah, we're just going to get rid of them. And that's going to solve all the problems of violence. We're going to stop having violence. People will stop dying as soon as we get rid of guns. Yeah, it's worked real well in the big cities, hasn't it?
They're not even on the ground yet.
Kirk himself posted after the killing of the woman in Charlotte, like within 24 hours, maybe not 24 hours, but when the story went viral, he posted on X, we must immediately politicize this, which is the morally consistent case.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so usually, but that's not genuine. They're just using that to forestall any sort of a conversation about gun violence because they don't want to go down that political path. And it feels to me like a similar thing is going on here is like, no, you're not allowed to actually talk about it because we're busy doing our authoritarian thing. We need to get that done before you're allowed to have, an honest conversation about who he actually was, what he was actually doing, and what his true, views and legacy and words were.
I think that the thrust of that is the most persuasive criticism I've gotten. Another version of it that I saw that I don't have a very good response to is
I don't want to save her, Cold C. Crystal Ball is not. She doesn't impress me.
That like Ezra's
I'm not,
piece.
Now Anna Kasparian, okay. She impresses me. Crystal Ball does not impress me.
And like my and other people's defense
no need to save her.
Ezra's piece, by trying to muzzle criticism, created space for then the Trump administration to come in and say that anybody who criticizes him, even if they condemn violence, because what a lot of the people who lost their jobs said, I don't support violence. No, he should not have been killed for this. However,
here's his quotes.
Here's bad things that he did, and I don't.
Yeah, but you're acting like we can't see through that. It's like, oh yeah, of course I don't condone violence, but he was such a terrible person, and he said these terrible. It's like, what the fuck? You're literally saying we don't condone violence, but he was so horrible. Like, what do you expect was going to happen? It's very clear what you guys are doing. You're not condoning violence openly because you're smarter than that. You're not as dumb as a lot of these TikTok people, but you're excusing it by going, oh, he was a terrible person and he believed all these terrible things, which, by the way, a lot of times aren't even real things that he really believed. It's just like a fucking a corruption of what his true belief was, where you just take a little snippet of something he said and then you don't give the full context of the point he's trying to make, and then you make him look like he's really, really terrible.
I don't like him. And that the Trump administration used that space and that to then go in and punish those people. And so that therefore, actually criticizing him immediately pushes back and gives people more cover. I don't like the arguments that are based on what your adversaries are doing. I prefer arguments.
I agree with that. Yeah, you should be better than them. Yeah.
On the other hand, we live in a world in which there's a yin and a yang, and we're all in this together. And so you have to take into account the consequences of your own actions. So in that sense, I don't have a genuinely good response yet.
I'm all for politicizing tragedies, by the way. Like I think
hell yeah.
No, like I actually mean it. As long as, but what I think what people.
This guy's a moron, dude. I watched a little bit of this earlier. She seems like the only reasonable one. And crystal ball, man. She's rotting away. She's literally rotting away in front of our eyes.
Will usually mean when they say don't politicize it is don't cynically exploit it. My argument with that is just that politicization is the opposite of exploitation. So like I'm with Kirk and he's with the, I don't know if he would have been consistent on this, but he's with the people who politicize gun control in the wake of mass shootings when he's saying we must politicize the stabbing of the Ukrainian refugee, which is that this is exactly the moment to make political problems political conversations. So I have zero issue with that at all, so long as it's not like cynical and exploitive. But just in the principle of that, I think is people are often very inconsistent on.
Well, yeah, because the left, if this was the reverse situation, the left would be politicizing the fuck out of this. They would probably have already gone further than Trump is, and they would already be fucking, trying to push to make MAGA a fucking terrorist group. Whereas Trump's just doing it with Antifa. He said there's other groups he might do, and I was like, I'm wondering who else he would do. Antifa, okay, that would make sense. But who would be the other ones? Like what, BLM? That'd be kind of wild. That would be wild if he made BLM a terrorist organization. I don't know, but what other groups is he talking about?
I also have no problem with someone who it's like, listen, I'm fucking a white straight guy, but like if you are a trans person, like people I know in my life, your identity feels threatened by his messaging. And so obviously you're going to post the transphobic things that he would say afterwards. I don't view that as like an endorsement of the violence, but
yeah, it kind of is. It's like if somebody you love gets murdered and you're like, yeah, but he was a terrible person. What do you think?
Spocko super chatted $1.99. What a horrible collection of scrunts.
It's fucking, I don't know, it's low class, to say the least, to be like, oh, your uncle that just got murdered by some thug in the street the other day? Yeah, I don't condone violence, but your uncle was saying a lot of hateful stuff, right? Like, well, okay, you're not condoning violence, but what's your point then? If you're not condoning it, why do this,
But these people, and they're very like they're a lot
of people were like straight up endorsing the violence. Yeah.
What's up?
But a lot of people were like endorsing the violence. Like,
exactly. Let's not pretend they weren't.
Like it's not.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Anyone who's endorsing the violence, that's wrong. But I think sharing statements of his transphobia is right to do, especially when you are one of the vulnerable groups that felt like your entire existence in the future of being happy. And when you're trans, you feel like you're literally trapped in the wrong.
So one of these people that has lost their fucking mind. Yeah, I can't listen to these people much more, man. They fucking. Anything just to make it seem like we're the bad guys, they're the good guys, even when one of them literally commits a political assassination, someone who's on their political side of the aisle, it's still our fault. We're still to blame for it. Just for having the opinions that they think are dangerous, for saying words that are dangerous. For not agreeing with your mental illness. That makes us dangerous. Lost their fucking minds. Yeah, Tim Pool and then Adam. They got into a little debate. Let's see what they have to say here. I watched a little bit of this, but like a couple minutes. And I was like, what's going on here? This guy Adam, man. I'm not going to say anything mean. We'll keep going. I don't want to say anything mean.
There are many. This after the FCC.
Everybody loves this guy, but every time I see him talk, I'm just like, oh, fuck, this guy's so annoying.
He says that's when this happens, especially with this merger on the line. If you think that's just a coincidence, then let me know. But I don't think it's just a coincidence. But also tell me to my face that you don't you can't possibly see how I might think that one thing has to do with the other.
Tim Pool, you've called out those defending Kimmel. You said liberals celebrated Charlie's death and cry over Kimmel's firing. I literally don't care what they say anymore. Dark days indeed. But as somebody who I know is, has often been appalled by the cancel culture which enveloped our society for the last few years, do you feel comfortable with the way many on the right are gleefully celebrating Kimmel getting fired, urging more draconian action against him and against other late night stars and so on for being anti-Trump and so on? Is it not really the same kind of behavior that you guys on the right would castigate the left for doing?
I can't speak for anyone but myself, so I don't know about what draconian measures people would ask for. I certainly wouldn't support that. But Jimmy Kimmel got fired, according to the Wall Street Journal and the Hollywood Reporter, because he refused to apologize. He wasn't planning on apologizing. He, in fact, was planning on furthering the commentary, criticizing MAGA for twisting his words. According to the Wall Street Journal, the executives approached him on his side, saying they were actually going to defend him. But the advertisers and the affiliates were upset over the comments that he made, portraying the assassin as a MAGA guy. When Jimmy Kimmel expressed his desire to further that line that he had pressed the day before, that's when they had a private meeting and decided to pull his show. So I do believe the FCC comments obviously played a role. I think it was multifaceted. But I've said this since cancel culture was more in the news with many on the left getting people canceled on the right. If you own a company and someone says something objectionable which threatens the existence of your company, I honestly I don't care if that person gets fired. If someone at my company was going on social media and posting abhorrent racist things, I'd fire them too.
What's so disingenuous about this argument is like I've been having debates on X. I had some debates with some people who are obviously progressives, and Jimmy Kimmel being fired is an attack on free speech. But platforms deciding to fucking just get rid of anybody, like just because they have the wrong opinion or they made a bad joke, that's not a free speech issue. Like, oh, that's a private company can do whatever it wants. But when ABC lets go of Kimmel, that's not a private company doing whatever the fuck it wants. And then they don't want to acknowledge the difference between, someone who's behaving like a publisher, which is ABC, and, social media platforms, which are not publishers, which are platforms, which have protections against them for the speech that their users do on their platforms. It's like, I would like the left and right to come together to let's come up with some ways to make sure we have more free speech in this country. But they're not honest actors. They don't want more free speech in this country. We've tried to have these debates for a long time now about, hey, we need to reform Section 230. We need to, limit add some more rules around the way these platforms can moderate so that we can increase the level of free speech and people can be less scared of speaking their minds. But when you have that debate, it's like, oh, but they're a private company. You can't force them to do that. That's like if somebody comes into your house and it's like, yeah, but they're a platform. It's not the same as a publisher. Do you not understand the distinction? Do you want to pretend like most of human communications doesn't go through these platforms anymore? But when ABC does it, then now it's a free speech issue. When it's a literal fucking publisher. So it's hard. It's hard to come together to agree on like some free speech shit when they're like not even really into free speech. They're just into winning this little time period. They want to win this little battle of like, right now they're getting their ass whooped because they have insane people on their side who are committing violence against the other side. And they want to get, they want to get the narratives back to they're good and we're bad. That's all they care about. So, but yeah, if there are people on the left that actually care about freedom of speech, great. Let's actually start thinking about actual ways to do something about it, to increase the level of freedom of speech in this country. And to me, that battle, it happens on the platforms. It happens on social media. It doesn't happen with a publisher. It doesn't happen with fucking National Geographic. It's not National Geographic that we have to force to platform everybody. And like, no, that's a publisher. They can get rid of anybody they want. You don't have free speech when you're working for a publisher and they're deciding who gets to, publish articles or whatever. That's not free speech. That's, employment. So yeah, it's frustrating because now everybody's like, well, the right doesn't believe in freedom of speech. It's not the right. Just they're the ones that have been getting banned off everything forever, and nobody stood up for them. And they're like, well, That's you know, the platform has a right to get whoever they want, and then now all of a sudden ABC does it, and it's a free speech issue. It's so disingenuous. It really pisses me off because I really would like to see more freedom of speech in this country, and that is going to happen at the platform level, not the publisher level. But when you bring this shit up, you know, they start sounding like fucking libertarians, dude, like the most fucking, you know, free market capitalist libertarians who are like, oh yeah, we don't even want to do antitrust, you know, we don't even want to do that.
The issue with cancel culture is that people were being fired for things that were not objectionable. There was a Netflix executive who got fired for simply describing the racial slurs they would not allow on Netflix. Papa John got fired and removed from his company, name stripped from universities, for lamenting the fact that the colonel used a racial slur and got away with it. And there was no criticism. In fact, in one instance, a NASCAR driver...
Ziggy Mac, you don't know what I mean by more freedom of speech, though? You really don't know? Have you been paying attention to the shit that went on during COVID? Do you not realize, like, I have friends that have been banned off of TikTok for fucking simple jokes, for making parodies about Joe Biden? Do you not understand platforms and the power they have over communication of the human population in America? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Ziggy Mac, you're going to be another one that's going to argue all day. Well, the platforms are a private company. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, under normal circumstances, yes. These are not normal circumstances. Not normal circumstances anymore. When you have platforms that everybody is talking on, this is how people communicate. This is how people share ideas. And then you're going to have, you know, private companies deciding whose ideas get to go and who gets banned for their idea and who doesn't, who gets promoted, who gets shadow banned, who gets... There's a huge fucking problem. This is not a natural communication environment where everybody's just naturally communicating their ideas. We have somebody on top deciding what ideas go and what ideas don't, and deciding whether your joke went over the line or didn't go over the line. It's so fucking weird how, like, the left all of a sudden is like, oh, the gays, you have to bake the gays cake, or, you know, that's a problem. But then, like, it's okay when it's social media and they decide to ban a bunch of conservatives for making jokes. That's not a problem. But you do have to bake the cake, though. You want to ignore the distinction between a platform and a publisher. That's what you guys want to do. You want to pretend like there's any difference between a platform and a publisher. There is. A platform is the modern town square. And if there were, you know, a ton of different platforms and there were some that were free speech and some, it'd be a different story, but we don't. We have Google, we have Facebook, and that's about it. Most communication goes through that. So yeah, you also have X. X is tiny compared to Google and Facebook. But you have Snapchat, you have all this other shit. The reality is Facebook and Google have captured most communications, and they want to be the arbiter of what speech is okay and what speech isn't. And I don't think that should be the case. I think it's a problem, and it's been proven a problem. But if you're on the left, you don't fucking care because it's not you that's had to fucking deal with that. It's people on the right who have been fucking completely banned left and right, demonetized, et cetera, for having the wrong opinions. But I guess that's okay until it happens to you, like with Jimmy Kimmel. And then now you care about free speech because, oh, one of your late night hosts got suspended because he said some stupid shit. Now you care about free speech. You didn't care about it before, and you really won't care about it again as long as it's not your side getting censored. But the moment it's your side getting censored, all of a sudden you care about free speech.
Lost sponsorship because his father used a racial slur in the 80s. That's cancel culture. Pulling Sarah Silverman off a movie because 10 years ago she did a blackface joke, that's cancel culture. Bud Light facing a massive sales backlash and having their beer pulled from stores and bars, Target losing customers and being criticized, this is consumer backlash. So I certainly don't think a teacher who criticizes Charlie Kirk should get fired. What I will add on top of this is the real reason stated by the reporting from various outlets, left and right, was that Jimmy Kimmel was going to continue that line the next day. And that caused concern they would lose more advertisers at a time when Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are down 43% and he's costing them millions of dollars. So if the FCC is to come out and say, we are going to get you taken off the air, that's a bad thing. But I think it's important that we discuss the context around when a business has a right to say you are threatening the existence of our company.
Adam Freeland, I interviewed Jay Leno about a year and a half ago, and he was really interesting about...
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually great. I went to his car garage in LA. We had a great few hours. I loved it. But what I liked about what he said was, he believed in like teasing and gently mocking all politicians from all sides.
Correct.
And he talked about the kind of real sort of golden period of Johnny Carson. Nobody knew Johnny Carson's politics at all. And yet, if you've watched late night comedy in America in the last 10 years, since Trump became a politician, all of them, almost two, I mean, they're all middle-aged white guys, which always makes me laugh when you think about the diversity push, which never seemed to attack late-night comedy. But they all, to me, developed an increasing loathing of Trump, which began to really distort
Appears more than
what
5 people at once. Style is effing dumb.
Yeah, it'd be better if they were in studio. That's kind of the problem, is like, people talk over each other and shit. It's not bad. It's not for everybody, clearly.
their actual job was to make Americans laugh late at night. I stopped watching them quite a long time ago. I could not watch it. Jimmy Fallon, I would kind of keep out of this. I think he's always been a lighter touch, but I think Kimmel and I think Colbert in particular, they really went hard in the anti-Trump rhetoric. The View, it doesn't have alternate views. It has one view. They all hate Trump.
Very funny
they all came out in black funereal clothes after he won again. And I don't think these serve their viewers, and I don't think they serve their companies. But I also feel uneasy, as Kat said, about the FCC poking its nose publicly into making not even veiled threats, but direct threats.
Yeah, but isn't there some writing in the guidelines for the FCC that, like, you have to be politically neutral? Isn't that written in there somewhere? Or, like, you can't be obviously just one side. Like, you can't just be like, oh, go vote for Democrats. Like, you have to kind of be neutral and try to cover both sides. Thought I read that somewhere.
That if ABC, Disney didn't take action against Kimmel, then they were going to pay the consequences. So where do you sit with all this?
Listen, I'm new to your audience, so just to introduce myself, I am a tell it like it is comedian, and no one's safe from my jokes, be it bratty kids, celebrities, politicians, people that just walk by. They're all fair game, but it is still deeply unconstitutional and immoral for the president to silence his enemies. But I think
that's what it was. It's the president. Oh, I wish Trump would have just kept his fucking mouth shut, because they can run with this angle now. It's Trump silencing his enemies. The nuance is just being ignored. The nuance of it all is always ignored. It's so annoying, bro. It's so annoying. Just take one little data point, and then that's the data point that gives me the narrative I want, and I'm going to run with it.
Important now, especially because it's so crazy right now, is that we zoom out as like people, like human beings. And like, there's a lot of kind of empathy being expressed towards Kimmel right now. But where is the empathy for Donald Trump? Certainly what it seems like to me is that he feels like he's been bullied. And I've been a victim of bullying my entire life. And still, I am regularly. I'm on the internet. But I've always said to my bullies, like, while it's disrespectful, rude, hurtful for them to be saying that, I support their constitutional right to be saying things about me that aren't true. So,
dude, it's not a constitutional right to be on ABC. To be on fucking ABC is not a free speech right. It's not a fucking free speech right, dude. I mean, if you guys don't think platforms, we don't have a right to free speech on fucking platforms, why do we have a right to free speech on ABC? Make it fucking sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't.
So, previous Democratic administrations have gotten the same treatment from conservative comics like Dennis Miller, Michael Richards, Kill Tony. I'm sure a lot of that caused Joe Biden a lot of pain, but never were their constitutional rights violated by the executive branch of the government.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you remember the Twitter files? My friend Davey literally made a parody of Joe Biden, and it was removed by TikTok, and his entire account of like 100, 200,000 followers was banned for a comedic parody video of Joe Biden. And can't prove this because we don't have a Twitter file situation with TikTok to be able to see behind the scenes. But I can almost guarantee you, in my humble opinion, it was probably the Secret Service or Joe Biden's staff that reached out to TikTok to get it banned, because that video had 30 million views climbing. And they were like, oh, this guy, because he did like a parody Secret Service video where he pretended like he was the Secret Service talking. And it's the one where Biden gets lost and like keeps walking instead of turning. And he's like, oh, the Eagles lost. It's clearly a parody video, but yet he got banned and lost his entire account for it. So what was that? Is that not a violation of his First Amendment right? No, but Jimmy Kimmel being fired from ABC is. Or suspended. He's back tomorrow, you fucks. It's so disingenuous, and it's frustrating because, yes, I would like to work on having more free speech. It's not at ABC that we need more free speech. It's in the marketplace of ideas where we need more free speech, and that is social media, the platforms. But they don't say anything about it. They didn't say anything when everybody's getting nuked over COVID, over questioning COVID narratives. People were getting banned for saying, learn to code or whatever the fuck. Dude, it's ridiculous, man. They pretend like they're on the side of free speech when they're just absolutely fucking not.
And I think that is what the clear difference is here. And I think for all of us as a culture,
Adam's not trolling here. I've seen enough of Adam talking about this type of shit. He's not. He's a fucking lib.
We have to ask ourselves,
He's
like,
a
is
wokie.
the president suffering right now from being made fun of? And the truth is this, like 30% of Americans suffer from depression, and there's a stigma. And if that is indeed true, like he should feel equipped to get help. And it is a
all right,
public
I
risk.
detect a slight sarcasm to your
I'm not.
tone.
I'm not. No.
Well, no.
Listen,
Here's the point I would make. I don't think Trump feels bullied or hurt or any of those things. I think what he feels.
So why?
Here's what I think he
okay.
feels. So he actually spelled it out in the last few days. There's no doubt, as he said, that about 99% of all the coverage of Trump on all these late night shows and The View and all these other, mainstream media shows has been Trump bashing. It's never been that percentage historically with anybody else. It was never like that.
It's not even just Trump bashing. It's the Russia fucking narrative hoax. The, Pissgate, all that. It's just like lie after lie after lie being pushed to where they're literally acting like a propaganda wing for the Democratic Party. Is that what our airwaves were supposed to be? Is that what the few fucking licenses we gave to ABC, CBS to broadcast on the public airwaves? Was it so that you could broadcast one side of the political spectrum's propaganda? That's not a problem, though. Yeah, if we try to solve it, then we're fucking up free speech. We're the bad guys now. Oh, dude, it's enough to make you lose your mind. It's enough to make you lose your mind because there's no basis in reality.
That with Obama. It wasn't like it with Reagan. It wasn't like it with Clinton. It's never been so skewed. I think Donald Trump brings a lot of it on himself, but I also think there's no doubt, no one can argue to me sensibly, that Trump has not had a more relentless...
Yeah, you're right. Smith Month is a big part of it too, but there is FCC, rules and regulations. So if you're going by the actual code, like of how these broadcasters are supposed to operate, a lot of them are by the fucking wording in violation of these codes. So, but it's all bygone shit. It doesn't matter now. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Well then get rid of the FCC. Get rid of it. I don't fucking care. But yeah, if we actually care about free speech, let's actually start talking about how we could have more freedom of speech. And if you don't include social media in that, if you don't include platforms in that, then you're not serious. You're not serious about freedom of speech.
Vicious, negative treatment from shows that used to be much more bipartisan in their mockery than Trump. So I think that all these things can be true. Right, but
he also comes from television, right? And so it's something that he pays close attention to.
Yeah.
Ratings, he talks about they're being very unfair to me, unfair treatment. This is something that he is like locked in on constantly.
Unfair treatment, they've lied about him. He won, what was it? I forgot how many millions of dollars suing them. And then they say that's a problem. Trump is trying to intimidate him by suing him. They're fucking lying. What else are you supposed to do? When they just come out and straight up lie about you, yeah. Sue them. But yeah, when a media outlet lies about you and propagandizes a message about you to its huge audience, and you sue them because they lied about you, you're the bad guy for trying to intimidate journalists. No matter what happens, they spin everything to be they're the good guy and everybody else is the bad guy. I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect at this point? This is the nature of the world we live in.
So, I mean, to some extent, if these are low-rated shows that are taking jabs at him, vicious jabs sometimes, that doesn't really pose much of a threat.
Yeah, but the problem wasn't that they were taking jabs at him. They've been taking jabs at him for like 5-10 years. The problem was he came on in a very heated moment in American fucking discourse where a man was just politically assassinated, and he literally lied about who assassinated him. That's where the issue is. That, you know, that does fall under like a hoax. Like you're not allowed to commit hoaxes on the air. You're not allowed to hoax the audience and purposely lie to them. So that's where the FCC license shit gets involved. But let's forget about the nuance of it. It's just
his
Trump
power.
bad. Trump bad.
Not a lot of people are watching them, but for him, it's something that he's like zoned in on, perhaps.
Okay, well,
and that's what happened with Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's complicated with Jimmy Kimmel. John Fugelsang, let me bring you in here. You said the Kimmel suspension shows how brittle, unmanly, and frightened the Trump White House is. I would add that they're angry about the way they've been treated for years by the mainstream media, rightly or wrongly.
Colonel McLeod, I could ask you the same question. Do you think the left is the honest person, bro? Do you think Joe Biden is the honest person? Do you think Gavin McInnes is the honest person? Okay, dude. Yeah, no, politicians all lie. That's the reality, right? And there is a world where Trump is more honest than a lot of these other actors. But yeah, you're going to believe what you want. You come from your side, your point of view, which, you know, it's either left is good, right's bad, left's good, and that's it. There's no changing anybody's position, you know. And then the good faith actors out here who are like, I actually do care about freedom of speech. Can we come up with a plan? You know, could we come together left and right and decide how we can have more free speech, how to stop getting people banned off of platforms, how to make it to where people are free to speak their minds on the internet without getting fucking nuked? But then when I come out and say that shit, you guys pretend like it's not a problem. You guys go, oh, well, no, it's okay. Yeah, because the platforms are nuking people on the right, so you don't care about that. But as soon as one guy gets fired from his employer, who happens to be somebody you like, now you care about freedom of speech? And you're the honest ones? Okay, dude.
And they're vengeful, and they're thoroughly enjoying Jimmy Kimmel, one of their most ardent protagonists, getting his comeuppance.
And then it's like, you should defend Jimmy Kimmel. Defend Jimmy Kimmel from what? From an employer that decided they didn't want him around anymore? Clearly it wasn't. If it was Trump, he would have been gone. They're bringing him back. And there's even, reports that they said themselves, this had nothing to do with Trump. This had to do with advertisers, had to do with affiliates pulling out. Why? Because he pissed off a huge part of the country, said a provable lie that he should have known better with the amount of staff he has to fact check, to the point where he did it on purpose. It seems to me he wasn't just mistaken when he said, oh, they want to believe it's everybody but MAGA. No, he knew what he was doing. He knew he was lying. And if an employer doesn't want to keep somebody around like that, that's the employer's business, right? An employer is not a platform. But you guys don't seem to understand the distinction. It's weird. You understand, all this shit about private companies can do whatever, but then all of a sudden you don't understand the distinction between a publisher and a platform. Like, it's so disingenuous, man.
Which is a kind of human reaction you would not, find surprising in someone like Trump. Again, those things can all be true. Yeah, I mean, from your point of view, I remember, for example,
really, Sinclair's not going through a merger, Joshua. Nextstar's going through a merger. Sinclair's not. Sinclair's the one that's still fucking holding out. No, it's not about advertisers. It's not about the fact that half of this country, like, you guys act like it's okay to piss off this half of the country, but if you piss off this other half of the country, then it's a problem. Like, no, you pissed off the half of the country that disagrees with you. That's bad for business. But you guys don't care. You don't care as long as my team wins and your team loses.
Example of cancel culture at its worst, where I don't remember anyone on the Liberal side coming to her aid. I got bounced out of my job hosting Good Morning Britain for disbelieving Meghan Markle in her Oprah Winfrey interview. And it made a lot of headlines. I said, I don't believe her. And nobody raced to my defense, by the way, on the liberal left, even though I've always identified as a liberal kind of guy myself. But then a worse thing happened. You know, I was fine about it. I was tired of getting out of bed that early anyway. Sharon Osbourne was on The Talk on CBS. And she got jumped by Cheryl Underwood, who was one of her co-panelists, who was an African-American woman, who accused her of supporting a racist. And Sharon said, well, what's he said that's racist? And Cheryl Underwood couldn't actually explain. She sort of went on a long tangent about how it's kind of, you know, if you say things a certain way, blah, 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 blah. Well, obviously, I'd said nothing
referring
racist.
To whom, Piers? I'm sorry, referring to whom?
Well, Cheryl Underwood was saying that I had been racist. She was inferring I'd said racist things about Meghan Markle, which I hadn't at all. And no one.
It doesn't matter. They call you a racist to fucking discredit you, and then they'll twist some little thing you said that might have been a little bit racial. It's racist. It's racist. It doesn't matter. I'm done watching this. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, Gavin McGinnis. I don't know if I have it here, but Gavin Newsom. The other Gavin, the not so cool Gavin. He's trying to make it illegal for ICE to wear masks. So if you've noticed lately, ICE, every time you see ICE doing operations, they're wearing a mask to protect their identity. Now, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Maybe they're just like the Gestapo, and no, it's because the crazy fucking people on the left, if they get their face, they're going to take a picture, they're going to dox that person, they're going to dox their family, they're going to start sending death threats, and they're going to do everything they can to scare the fuck out of that person, maybe even violence, to get them to stop working for ICE. So for their own safety and protection, they started wearing masks. And now Gavin Newsom is trying to make it illegal for ICE to wear masks. Because Gavin Newsom, in my opinion, wants the Antifa types, the crazy leftists, they want them to be able to dox ICE and to put the lives of ICE officers in danger. It's pretty disgusting to me that Gavin Newsom's doing that. It's very clear. It's very clear. It's just meant to intimidate ICE. It's meant to go, oh, we're going to find out who you are and where you live and where your kids go to school. And so you better be very scared. It's very clearly what they're doing. Gavin Newsom is a piece of shit. Anyway, guys, fun show. Been great. You guys are great. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be other stuff to talk about than I don't know. We'll see what's to talk about tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But thank you guys for showing up. Been fun. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. If you've enjoyed the show, it's very much appreciated. You can become a member. It's in the description for Patreon as well as YouTube memberships. Thank you guys. I will see you on the next episode. Gonna do the outro and see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.